Imagine if we could use artificial intelligence to predict the next huge cyber attack. I'm talking days, maybe even weeks, before it actually happens. It's a game-changing idea, and it's completely shifting the world of digital security. So today, we're going to get into this new reality and ask a really important question. Is India ready for it?
Okay, so let's just start with this question, because honestly, it changes everything. For decades, cybersecurity has always been about, building bigger walls and then scrambling to clean up the mess after someone breaks through. But what if you could see the attackers gathering outside the gates before they even make a move? That is the incredible promise of predictive AI. You see, we're walking into a totally new era of threats. This is a time where the old playbook, just reacting to problems, is becoming useless. The game has changed. Big time.
So this slide here really breaks down that massive shift. Over on the left, you've got reactive defense. That's the old way. An alarm goes off, a system gets breached, and then it's all hands on deck trying to limit the damage. But on the right, that's predictive defense, and it's powered by AI. This is all about sifting through mountains of data to find threats and shut them down before they can do any harm at all.
But here's the twist. And you've got to understand this part. AI isn't just a shield for the good guys. Nope, it's also an unbelievably powerful weapon for the attackers. And that has kicked off a super high-stakes tech arms race.
And this is what's so fascinating. You can see the battlefield laid out right here. Attackers are using AI to create these scarily realistic phishing emails and deepfakes to fool you. But on the other side, defenders are using their AI to spot the tiniest little changes in behavior that signal something's wrong. Attackers automate their scans for weaknesses, defenders automate their response to act in milliseconds. It's this constant battle of algorithms. And this shows you exactly why predictive defense isn't just a nice-to-have anymore, it's an absolute necessity.
All right, so with that tech arms race going on in the background, let's zoom in a little. Let's talk about India. Why has it become such a prime target in this new cyber war?
Well, when you look at it, the reasons are pretty clear. India's economy is going digital at a lightning-fast pace. We've got a massive and still growing population of people online. The incredible success of things like fintech and UPI has created these huge financial targets. And all of our critical infrastructure, power grids, transport, it's all more connected than ever. Every single one of those is a potential weak spot.
And this chart really tells the story of where the attacks are hitting. We're talking about the absolute core of the country's economy. Banking and finance, huge target for obvious reasons. Government and defense, telecom, the very thing that connects all of us, and even healthcare and energy. This isn't some small, isolated threat. It's spread across the systems that we all depend on every single day.
So the stakes are clearly sky high. The question is, how ready is India, really? Let's take an honest look at the country's defenses, both the strengths and, the pretty big gaps that are still there.
Now, the good news is that India isn't starting from zero. Not at all. There's a pretty solid foundation here. We have national cybersecurity policies, we have groups like CERT-In to coordinate things, and there's a really lively private sector coming up with new solutions. We're even seeing specialized government tools, like Vastav AI, which is super interesting. It's designed to analyze video for those tiny, almost invisible clues that give away a deepfake.
But, and this is a really big but, despite all that good progress, there's a catch. The preparedness isn't the same everywhere. It's uneven. And that means while some parts of the economy are getting stronger, others are falling way behind, basically creating weak links in the country's digital armor.
And this number is pretty shocking. Some studies are suggesting that up to 92% of Indian organizations might not be ready for the kind of smart, AI-powered cyber attacks we're talking about. 92%. Just let that sink in. That means for most companies, the systems protecting our data could be years behind the tools the bad guys are using. That's a huge, huge gap.
So why is that gap so big? Well, it really boils down to these 4 key challenges right here. First off, there's a major shortage of people who are experts in both AI and cybersecurity. Second, you've got a ton of organizations still running on old IT systems that just can't keep up with modern AI. Third, there just isn't enough intelligence sharing going on between the government and private companies. And finally, we just don't have enough clear rules for how to use AI safely and securely.
Okay, so seeing the problems is step 1. Step 2 is actually building a path forward. And that brings us to the resilience roadmap, a real strategic plan to close that readiness gap.
So here it is, the 5-point plan to build a truly predictive defense. Number 1, we've got to invest heavily in research and development. 2,
Build national-level platforms that can actually predict threats. 3. Create strong rules and frameworks for AI. 4. A massive effort to train the workforce with the right skills. And number 5, make collaboration between the government and private sector way, way stronger.
And all of this is leading to something that's even bigger than just defense. The real goal is cyber resilience. See, it's not just about stopping attacks anymore. It's about building an entire digital world that can adapt on the fly, withstand a hit, and recover super quickly. It's a constant, dynamic state of being ready for anything.
Look, the main thing to take away from all of this is that we're way past the theory stage. This move from just reacting to problems to actually predicting them, it's not science fiction. It's happening right now. And the countries that get on board the fastest are going to be the ones that are the most secure.
Which brings us to one last really critical question we should all be thinking about. As India continues on this amazing path of digital innovation, is its security innovation actually keeping up? Because in this new era, those two things have to move forward together, hand in hand.